What's going on, guys? It has been a hot minute since I've done a live Q&A. I've been so busy building out multiple businesses, trying to stay on top of my content, but I need to get back to my Q&As because I know that you guys, or at least some of you guys, really appreciated them. So I wanted to pop on today and do another live Q&A. So I hope you guys are pumped about it, as pumped as I am to do it for you guys. So let's see who's coming in. What is up? Good morning. It's not morning for us here. It is 5 p.m. Hello from Mexico. Hello. Hola. Awesome. All right, guys. So we're going to do just like how we normally do Q&A format. So whatever you guys have, fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, we can just run through any questions you guys have, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Hello from Brazil. Awesome. Pumped. Let's go. Hi, Sebastian. Looking good. Thank you. Hola. Hey, Mason, how are you, buddy? What is your skin regimen? Oh my God, I wish I had one. I basically just do moisturizer out of the shower. That's pretty much it. I do sometimes like a facial scrub, but I need to get better about it because we're out in the sun so much. Like just trying to get outside, like walking the dogs, playing tennis. So I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting these little lines right here, but it's not too bad yet. So I should do more for my skincare regimen. But if you guys have any recommendations for me, put them down in the comments. One of my good friends, Patrick, would be very upset at me because he has this whole skincare regimen that he does. Regards from Paris. Welcome to the house. You're not in Detroit anymore. Definitely not. I am in LA, and the sun is 20 times stronger. What's the best training split? So that's just going to depend on what your goals are. That's basically, if you are training for size and you're training for hypertrophy, it's going to be different from when you're training for strength. It's going to be different from when you're training for performance. So what you want to understand is, like, if you want to grow for hypertrophy, you want to split up your body parts, let's say chest and tries, back bis, pull day, push day, legs, things like that. Whereas if you're going for more performance, like, it's totally fine to do like a more full body day or more functionally based in functional movements, whether it be like power clean, snatches, things like that. If you're more of that CrossFit style athlete, you don't need to do as much of the body build split, and you honestly shouldn't be, because with kind of like powerlifting or CrossFit, if you do get something super sore and fatigued, it's going to be really hard to follow up and do that same movement in the next day or two. So that's why CrossFit, you'll have a lot of legs, a lot of shoulders all at once, and then you kind of just break that out over the days. With hypertrophy training, it's very good to give that muscle time to recover, to grow. So if I'm going to do chest, then I'm going to give my chest at least 3 to 4 days until I hit it again. I really want to hit it as hard as possible and focus on the quality of the workout opposed to the quantity of the workouts. Can you see my photos after? Yeah, if you send them to me. Sorry, I got my brother came in, so. Can I speak Spanish? Not very much. I took Spanish in high school, but it has been too long. How old are you? I just turned 30. Oh my God, I know. It's crazy. Getting old, guys. 30 years old. Use sunblocks if you could. That's the best way to protect skin. Yes, I do. I use sunblock every single time I go outside. I put SPF 50 on. I also use like the zinc stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I think that's helping a lot. Buenos Aires, welcome. I use green tea toner and CeraVe moisturizer cream and SPF. I love it. Thank you. I'm definitely going to get those. You have something in my teeth? Oh, I do. Thank you. That is I can respect that. That's a real one right there. Chest dance, please. All right, there you go. LMAO, slow down. Hold on a second. My dogs are going crazy. Hey, Ian. I'm on a live right now, so we got to get them to shut up. Sorry, guys. All right, let's go on to the next question. Is putting veggie in the blender to make smoothies the same as eating it non-smoothie way? I usually put broccoli, spinach, fruits, yogurt, and orange juice as a smoothie in the morning. That's totally fine. If you guys want to do it that way and put your veggies in your smoothie, it's not a problem. The only thing that to take into consideration is obviously uncooked vegetables are a little bit harder on your system than cooked vegetables. I don't know how blending it affects that, but that's just always what I've learned is our bodies are not really meant to process mass amounts of uncooked vegetables. So that's why a lot of people do these raw vegan diets often suffer a lot of like GI discomfort and bloating. So if you do for whatever reason, start to blend a lot of your veggies and you start to have those. I know spinach is totally fine, but if you start to blend your broccoli and it starts to give you discomfort, I would cut it or start cooking it. Everyone, please stay away from my hubby. Thank you. Best tips to shred diet-wise. So the biggest thing you want to understand about losing body fat is you have to understand what your starting point is. So if I come into if we bring on somebody in our coaching program, let's say it's eating 2,000 calories a day, that's going to be a very different approach from somebody who's eating 3,500 calories a day. Because if you're already under eating, it's going to be hard for us to push you metabolically and pull your calories back and have you see results. Because if you're already here metabolically and we try to cut you down to 1,600, 1,400, you might see results for a little bit, but your body's going to adjust to that lesson intake. So the best thing to do is just figure out what your baseline is, figure out what your activity, and make sure that you are tracking your food. That's a big one. A lot of people want to skip that step. They just don't want to track their food. They just want to eat quote unquote healthily. But at the end of the day, macros are going to be your most important thing. That's your proteins, carbs, and fat intake. And so if you can start tracking those and see how your body's moving week over week, you can adjust your intake and you can adjust your output, meaning the amount of exercise you're doing. And that doesn't mean just in your workouts. You can also increase your NEAT, which is just your movement throughout the day. It's basically your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So it's basically what you burn throughout the day. Let's say grocery shopping, walking to the park, going to your car, whatever it is, that's not exercise related. And then your obviously physical activity would be like tennis, lifting weights, things like that. So you can kind of decipher where you need to move week over week. Oh, meant Detroit Street in LA. Yeah. So we used to live on a street called Detroit Street, but we have since moved and it's hotter here than it was there. I still have it on my teeth? No way. Yeah, it's gone now. Thank you. Is it possible to train for hypertrophy only with body weight? I think it's possible, guys, but you're always going to reach a plateau. So your body acclimates to what you give it. So if you are constantly doing body weight, you might progress for, let's say, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks. But at a certain point, your body's going to need more stimuli to progress. And whether that be bands, machine weights, free weights in the gym, things like that, that's going to create that extra stimuli. It's going to push you over that next plateau. Because, yeah, sure, you're going to make progress for 4 to 8, 12 weeks with body weight movements. But especially for legs, you're going to need some more stimuli other than just your own body weight in order to really scale up. Is pre-workout considered a steroid? No. Pre-workout is a stimulant. Basically, it's like any other stim. It's just going to have caffeine, beta-alanine, arginine, guarana. So it's going to have all these basically stimulants in it and some pump inducers. And sometimes it'll have some aminos or creatine if based on the brand, but definitely not a steroid. Steroid is basically an androgen. And you would not be definitely consider that a steroid. If you're going to get it in GNC, it's definitely not like a steroid. Good morning from Malaysia, especially in these trying health times of the health pandemic. What messages do you have for your fans? Yeah, that's a great question. I think that honestly, it's been such a tumultuous 12 to 16 months, as you guys all know, with the global pandemic in terms of staying in shape, staying motivated. I know a lot of people lost their gym access, including myself. And so it was just a difficult time in terms of staying consistent, and especially if you were on a path of success and then COVID hit. And I would just say, honestly, doing the best you can with what you're given. So obviously I had to work out with bands and some light dumbbells, 35s and 50s for 2 months before we could get any real equipment in our garage, the cable machine, all that stuff. So it was 2 to 3 months of just utilizing heavy bands, dumbbells, and it's just making the most of your situation. So it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, gym access, access to all the nutrition you want. It's going to be kind of piecemeal, but that's the biggest thing. You could either stop completely and then you're going to lose a lot of the progress you made, or at least stay where you're at, keep maintaining, and then when you get back into it, then you're going to have a much better base to go off of, opposed if you stop completely. How to achieve an athletic, lean body? That's a good question. The biggest thing I would recommend is obviously nutrition. Nutrition is going to dictate the amount of body fat you have, obviously as paired with your output, which is your exercise. But at the end of the day, your nutrition is going to play the biggest role, because let's say you do 600 calories of cardio, that's going to take you 50 minutes, but it's going to take you 50 seconds to eat that 600 calorie muffin. So it's just putting it in perspective of, it's a lot easier to consume calories than it is to burn them. So you have to be more cognizant of your nutrition. So the best thing to do would be get focused with your macronutrients, what you're taking in on a weekly basis and a daily basis, and see how your body is trending. And then obviously either add activity or adjust your macros down or up based on how you're trending week over week. Hello, I like your chest. Thank you. You're so handsome, dude. Thank you so much. I seem to hit a plateau and not able to grow any bigger. So yeah, there's different ways to break through plateaus. But the big one you want to do in terms of breaking through a plateau is going to be varying up your workout style, because if you do the same workouts week in and week out, your body's going to acclimate to it. So you need to switch it up. And that doesn't necessarily have to be the exercise itself. It could be the tempo you're following, the rep scheme, the rest time, supersets, drop sets. There's all these different ways to take the same exercise and make it 5 different things. So just remember that you want to change up your structure, change up your tempos. And that's one thing I tell people is if sometimes they don't focus on tempo, they add tempo in for a month and they start to see major changes, because tempo is going to be a huge proponent in getting you guys extra gains, because then you're not just focused on what's my top end weight, how much weight am I bench pressing, how much weight am I squatting. But if I'm like, okay, now I'm going to squat with a 6 count negative, we're in a whole new ball game. You're pushing your body in a whole new way, and in a way that you don't have to keep pushing up weight as the stimuli. So I would try more tempo work, more variance in your workouts, and then just look back at your nutrition as well. If your nutrition's not behind you, no matter what you do with your workouts, you're not going to see the results. So in terms of breaking through plateaus, a lot of times people are under eating in carbs, maybe overeating in fats, maybe under eating in protein. So you just got to kind of look at your macronutrients and kind of dial that in as well. Love you, Daddy. Thank you. Hello from Panama. Oh my God, I love you. I love you too. Eric, there's not something, people say there's still something in my teeth. I don't see it. Where is that? Oh my God. Is it still, are people just messing with me now? I feel like there's nothing there. All right, I'm gonna just pretend like nothing's there. It probably is, and I just can't see it. Hello from Argentina. How to be more motivated to exercise. I think this is one I speak about a lot, and I think that what you have to kind of do is realize exercise is a privilege and not a right. There's plenty of people that would love to maybe have the gym access you do, would maybe love to have access to nutrition that you do. So I would say that obviously we have our health, we have our ability to get to the gym, and I would say that is obviously a gift in and of itself, and there's a lot of people that can't say that. So just remembering that that is a privilege, and that's something that helps me every day. And then the other thing is just envisioning a workout before you go. So instead of being on your phone and checking out TikTok before you go to the gym, really plan out your workout and be intentional about it. If you can plan in advance and set goals for it, you're much more likely to hit those goals and be more focused. Whereas if you watch TikTok until the minute you start working out and you're checking work emails and you're fielding calls, you're obviously not going to have a very good workout. So if you can be more planned, more diligent, and more focused in that time block that you've set aside for working out, and you don't get on Instagram and you don't take phone calls, you're going to be much more successful. So those are some of my recommendations in terms of, kind of your focus and motivation in the gym. Scotland, hello from Scotland. Can't lose some stomach, 57-year-old woman. So with females especially, we have to look at undereating as a huge problem. And when women undereat for prolonged periods of time, it's going to affect your hormone profile. So specifically in women, even testosterone can be lessened, but estrogen, progesterone. And so if your hormones are out of balance because of your nutrition's not where it needs to be, that's a big factor. So a lot of the times we have women into the program, we're always increasing their intake and pushing up their activity levels just so they can get in a more optimal place, but also focusing on stress mitigation, sleep, quality of said nutrition, all of these things that are going to get you in a more optimal place. Because if you're not optimal with your sleep, with your stress mitigation, it doesn't matter how much you're working out and how little you're eating, because if your metabolism is suboptimal, your hormones are suboptimal, then you're not going to see the progress you're looking for. So feel free to DM me after this. I know this is like a more immersed topic, so feel free to DM me and we can talk more through it. Good evening. That was so funny. What do you suggest diet-wise to get leaner? The big one is creating caloric deficit, but it's just not that simple. I know that's what everybody wants to talk about, is creating that deficit, just eating less. But a lot of times that's not the case of what you need to be doing, because a lot of times people are under eating. So what you always want to think about is the major burner of your calories throughout the day is what's called your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. And that would be if you, let's say, wake up, lie in bed all day, that's how many calories your body's going to burn. No activity whatsoever. You don't even move a muscle. And then you have your activity, which is broken into two different parts. You have your exercise, like deliberate exercise, then your NEAT, which is what I was explaining earlier. Was like NEAT would be like walking around the house, unpacking groceries, things like that, walking the dogs. And then you've got your thermogenic quality of food, which basically means when you eat food, it takes your body energy to break down that food for fuel. So those are the main components. But if you are under eating and you're pushing your metabolism down, then if we drop your metabolism even further, then you're going to actually hold on to body fat because your body just goes into starvation mode. So what you want to do is actually increase your intake, increase your output, whether it be NEAT or through your exercise, but I would highly recommend through NEAT, getting outdoors, walking your dog, taking a walk with friends, whatever that may be. Non-stressful exercise will help you to push up your metabolic capacity, eat more food, see better results, be more optimal with your hormones. But yeah, it's a lot to kind of wrap your head around, because I think that the most simple way of looking at it is like, okay, I just have to eat less. But a lot of times that's not the case. If you're not in a place to diet, if you're already under eating, there's not much of a place to go, and you're just going to drop your metabolism even more. Pex, hello from Spain. Hold on. How often do you... I think I lost my spot. Hold on here. Is it okay to carry on with normal sex life if I'm on a strict training program? Yes. Yeah, that's a big misconception that you're going to drop your levels of testosterone if you have sex. It's not the case. Actually, it will increase your testosterone levels for a short period of time afterwards. So I wouldn't worry about that. The only thing that you would consider is if you do have sex and it's very tiring, then it might take a little bit from your training afterwards. But if you are going that hard, then power to you. Can I have a hug? Yes. There you go. That was my best effort. Sorry about that. Can you stand up for a minute? I'm going to do a physique check at the end like I always do. How was everyone's day? How old am I? 30. Can you stand up for a minute? All right, let me go down to, hold on. Hey, any tips on lower belly fat and how to flatten and reduce the bump? Any nutritional tips or exercise? So the big thing to understand with reducing belly fat is it's honestly like usually the last thing to go for most people, especially for men. They usually will hold it in their bellies last. So you have to focus on reducing body fat overall. There's no such thing as spot reducing body fat. If you do crunches, if you, do some sort of juice cleanse, it's not going to reduce your belly fat. What you need to do is reduce your body fat overall, and that's unfortunately usually going to be the last place that you're going to lose it. So your legs might be really lean, your arms and shoulders might be really lean, but your midsection is the last to go. So that's the same for me, lower back and midsection. But so I just focus on cleaning up your nutrition and seeing how you can reduce body fat overall. All right. Sorry, I lost my spot. Hey, Eric, can you save this live after? Yes, I will be posting this on my page, so you guys can watch it later. I know I'm not that interesting, so I'm sure none of you will, but for those of you who do want to see more of me, stream Megan the Stallion, everyone. You should be a teacher for children or physical education in a university or other school. I think that'd be amazing. I'm way too busy to even consider that right now, but I'd love to give back in a certain way, not for monetary reasons, but I'd love to, teach the youth about nutrition, about health overall, just because I feel like it's something that's definitely falling to the wayside in current education. All right. I can't even look directly at my phone. You're too hot. I love that. Thank you. I don't feel like that, but thank you so much. How can I make friends at the gym? LOL. Biggest thing is don't walk around with a resting bitch face on. If you walk around like this, nobody's going to talk to you. So just smile and say hi to people. I think that's the best way to do it. And if they're jerks, then they won't smile and say hi back. But the ones you want to be friends with, the ones that smile back and say, hey, how are you doing? So that's my number one recommendation. And then just be proactive in making conversations with people that do say hi to you back. How do you benefit from playing football at a high level? How did I benefit? I mean, I think it was obviously just helped me stay athletic, limber. I think flexibility was a big part of it, just because I would get very tight. So it's instilled that in my head that I needed to stay flexible. If I hadn't played football, I probably would have just let my mobility fall to the wayside, but that was a big part of it. And then just like overall athleticism and explosiveness, and just muscle density, just lifting from such a young age for football really helped me. Your body's great. Thanks for helping everyone, of course, always. You've inspired me to slow my reps down and take my time. I've got to mix it up with 30 years at the gym as long as you've been alive. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that I inspired you to do so. It is huge. It's going to make such a tremendous difference in your progress. So I'm happy that you are obviously slowing down your reps, focusing on more time under tension. It's going to pay dividends for you in the long run and keep you healthier. Hubby, oh my God, your eyes. Don't look at me that deep. There's a lot of people here, hubby. You make me shy. Sorry. Sometimes I just have to read these. Do you ever get injured from working out, and what do you do about recovery? I very seldomly get injured from my workouts. I probably haven't gotten a workout injury since college, just because I focus more on that time under tension. I still can lift heavy, but I'm so focused on my tempo and my form that it's very low risk of injury. So you guys see it in my videos. I'm not going light, but the fact that I've worked my way back and utilize tempo, I can now do heavier weights with good tempo, which then is really good form, which is then very low risk of injury. And I also work on my mobility work and flexibility to keep myself as healthy as possible. I would eat those pecs. Please don't. I need them. Meal plan help. If you guys need meal plan help, you know where to find it. I have custom coaching, one-on-one. We actually have a team of coaches, so it's even better, but I'll be part of that team. So go and click on the link in my bio. It's the best coaching program in the market. I'm not just saying that. We have so much expertise on the team, over 40 years of coaching experience. So it is an awesome program. I'm super excited to have you guys in it if you are interested. But links in the bio to book a call. Key, please kiss your guns, obviously. Duh. You're speaking so fast I can't understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to speak very quickly, but there's so many questions coming through that I kind of have to answer as quickly as I possibly can so I can get to as many as possible. But I will try to slow down a little bit. If I lost many weight and I have extra skin, the sport is enough to tone my body, or have to surgery to cut extra skin. So I'm just going to tell you, it's going to depend on where you're at. Like if you have lost a tremendous amount of weight, a lot of times you won't snap back. It's also dependent on age. But if you've lost probably over 100 pounds, the safe bet is it might have to get removed, just because it is an organ and it can really stretch, but it cannot retract as easy as it's stretched. So basically you're going to have to maybe obviously consider surgery. And it also just depends on the area too. So let's say it's on, you're having, extra skin on your chest. You could fill more muscle in to obviously basically expand and fill out that skin. But in your midsection, you're obviously not trying to put on more body fat to fill that back out. So that might be an area that you'd have to get it removed. But obviously I would consult with a doctor. I'm not a doctor in this, an expert in this realm. So I've had a few clients that have gotten it done with very good results. Really want what proportion of exercise, nutrition, and anabolics is in your body? Honestly, I can be honest. It's nutrition, training. Been lifting since I was 13 years old, so it's a lot of hard work. Don't answer questions. I've been struggling with the gains in general. I try to eat more, but I feel the same. So I would take a look back, and if you're eating more and you're struggling to get it down, it usually means that you're kind of outpacing where your metabolism is. So I would just look back at your training, see if your training intensity is where it needs to be. You can add your NEAT to that non-exercise activity. You could also just add a little bit of cardio to get your metabolism spurred up, hit cardio, and I think that might be helpful for you. Love you too. I will close your account today, I promise. I don't know what that means, but I hope not. Get some lotion and sun cream. Your face is dry. You guys are too honest with me. Does running help lose weight if you lift weights? It just depends, obviously. You don't want to, I would focus mostly on your strength training and nutrition. Obviously, cardio can be helpful in terms of extra caloric burn, but it might also be detrimental if you're overdoing your exercise and you're under eating. It's going to hurt your metabolism. Your body's actually going to hold on to body fat and not burn it. It's so funny. Some of you guys are like, your skin looks amazing. What product do you use? And some of you guys, you're like, your skin sucks. You need lotion and sunscreen. I'm like, well, I don't know who to listen to. All right, I think I'm pretty much caught up. So what I'm going to do is, since it's been on for about 25 minutes, if you guys have not checked out my app, it is live. It is so amazing. I have a full nutrition portal. I've got full programs built out, my daily workout. It's also got direct messenger access to me. So if you guys have not checked out my app for $1 for your first month, please go and do so. It's amazing. Nothing to lose. Just go in there and check it out. If you hate it, then you can leave. But I'm assuming that you're going to love it as much as everybody else has so far. So if you've not gone and check it out, go check out my app. Link is in my bio. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to give you guys a quick physique update. So show you guys where I'm at. So feeling pretty decent about the current shape. Not exactly where I want to be, but feeling pretty good about kind of that X structure. I don't have the tiniest waist in the world, so try to build up my shoulders, my chest, my arms to kind of make up for that. But that's pretty much where I'm at. Legs are kind of always a strong point for me. But if you guys enjoyed this live, enjoyed being part of it, it was great to get back to my Q&As. I'm going to be doing more frequently. But if you guys have any other questions for me, feel free to DM me. I'll try to get back to as many as I can. And also go in my app, and you'll get even direct messenger access to me. So I will see you guys on the next one.